All right, so for section 3.4, we started talking about proofs. Okay, so we talked about there were two types of proof, paragraph proofs and two-column proofs. Okay, so this 3.4b worksheet, we're going to be practicing how to actually write two-column proofs. Okay, so I've got number one up here, so let me walk through and explain it. Okay, so we see number one, we are given -3 times n minus 8 minus 5 equals 9 times n plus 2 plus 1. And from this statement, we're asked to prove that n equals 0, okay? So whenever I'm starting out this proof, you'll see they already gave you all the statements and they ask you to give the reasons, okay? So your first statement is always going to be your given statement, okay? So they just rewrote this statement right here. And then your first reason is always going to be given, okay? That's just what it's always going to be, just that word given. Okay, so now we need to figure out, how do I go from statement A to statement B? Okay, well, if you notice, from right here, we have -3 times n minus 8, and then down here we got -3n plus 24. Over here we got 9n plus 2, and then down here we got 9n plus 18. So we can assume that the step they took to get from A to B is they just distributed this -3 to n and to -8, and this 9 to n and 2, and got our statement B. So now going from statement A to statement B, I use the distributive property. Okay, so let's keep on going. Okay, so now from B to C, I see that I had 24 minus 5, which went to 19. I had 18 plus 1, which went to 19. Okay, so keep in mind, this isn't going to be using addition or subtraction property. This is going to be using the combining like terms property. And the reason being is because we're combining things that are on the same side of the equal sign. Okay, if it was addition or subtraction, we'd have to be moving things across the equal sign. Okay, so now go from C to D. Okay, we have -3 plus 19 on the left side, and then we just had 19. So they got rid of that -3n. So we had to add 3n to both sides. And that also makes sense for the right side because we went from 9n to 12n. So from C to D, we are using addition property here. Okay, again, because we're just moving things to the other side of the equal sign. So that's why we're using addition property rather than using combining like terms like we did up here. Okay, so now from D to E, I had to subtract 19 to get 0 equals 12n, so that's using subtraction property. To get from 0 equals 12n to 0 equals n, we had to use the division property, dividing both sides by 12. And now to get from F to G, so we have 0 equals n to n equals 0. Okay, well, if you look on your sheet, there's one of those properties that says if A equals B, then B equals A. Basically, I can switch things that are on the different sides of the equal sign. So to go from 0 equals n to n equals 0, I had to use the symmetric property.